Hello, my smartest artists. As you know, this week we get to start clay. But before we get our hands dirty, let's talk a little bit about the history and origins of clay and some special techniques that you'll get to use to make your artwork beautiful. Let's start by learning where clay comes from. If your guess is that it comes from the earth, then you're right, but more specifically from erosion, or the breakdown of rocks over a long time, which basically means we get to play with mud. Since clay comes from the erosion of rocks, which are all around us, it's pretty easy to find. I bet if you went to a lake, riverbed, or even the beach, you could find some clay. Humans have been using clay for thousands of years. The oldest known pottery dates back 20,000 years to southern China. Isn't that incredible? That's older than my great-great-great-grandma. Historically, people have used clay to make utilitarian pots, which means they use their pottery for cooking and storing food. Artists still make utilitarian pottery, but they also make sculptural work. Whatever you're trying to make, there's a few techniques that will always come in handy. The first is the pinch pot technique. To do this, take a small ball of clay, stick your thumb in the middle, and use your fingers on the outside to pinch. Make sure you spin the ball of clay around while you're pinching to keep your sides even. When things are about the thickness of your thumb, you're done. Voila! The next method is coiling. To do this, take a long hot dog shaped piece of clay and roll it back and forth beneath your hands until it becomes a long snake-like shape. You can use coils to pile on top of each other and make what's called a coil pot. You can either leave the coils visible or smooth them out into a very soft surface. Finally, we have slabs. Take a piece of clay and pound it out into a pancake shape. Then, take your rolling pin and roll it like you would a pie crust. Make sure you move the clay around so it has an even consistency throughout the whole time. Once you're done, the clay should be about the thickness of your thumb. Now you can cut it into any shape that you'd like. And combine it with other slabs to create a form. When adding two pieces of clay together, don't just mush them like that. They won't stick. Instead, scratch each side really well. Add some water to make slip. Match up your edges and wiggle. Now that's secure. When your clay is drying, it is called greenware. Once it's been fired once, it's called bisqueware. We fire in a kiln. A kiln is like an oven that's made to contain heat for a long time. Ours goes up to 2,000 degrees. The last thing we need to talk about is cleanup. It's pretty simple, and here are 3 things to remember. 1. Clay away. Put your scraps in the bucket and whatever you're working on the tray. 2. Tools away. Put all of your tools back in the table caddies and make sure your table is picked up. 3. Wash those hands. 1 person at each sink basin at a time. 1 squirt of soap, count to 5, and then dry. All right, I think you're ready. Let's get started.